Hi, welcome to Core Physio and Pilates video series. I'm Liz and this is Lily. Today we're going to take you through the 5 key elements. By now you should have come to your first Pilates session at Core, and we're going to rehash some of those elements that we would have gone through with you so we can give you a reminder and you can practice them at home. We're going to start having a lie down onto your back for me, Lily. So find a space that you can get comfortable, relax down, knees can be bent. We're going to start with your head, neck and shoulder placement. So in this position, we want to think of the neck position and we're going to try and lengthen down the back of the neck by gently tucking that chin in. In this position, we should get a nice softness at the bottom of the chin and have a gentle tuck through there, lengthening down the back of the neck. You're doing that really well. The next element is that shoulder positioning. So we often end up rolling our shoulders forward. So as we're lying on our back, we want to open through the chest, lengthening across the breastbone and feeling that our shoulder blades are now sitting really flat, nice and flat on that mat. Can you feel that, Lily? Great. So we've created this length across the front here, nice and wide through the collarbones. And we want to try and keep that opening across that chest as we lie there. Doing well. You comfy? Mm-hmm. Great. The next element that we look at is your rib cage placement. I'm going to get Lily to emphasize that shoulder opening, really press them back. What tends to happen then is we get this little arching of our upper back area and her ribs pop out forward. So the next part there, we need to bring the rib cage gently together, pressing the ribs down flat onto the mat so you can feel that it's nice and flat there and there's no gap underneath the back of her ribs. When she's done that, she's gotten a little bit of an activation through the upper abdominals there just to help hold that rib cage in a great position. And she's also maintained some width across those collarbones and nice flat shoulders. Great, you can relax. We're going to move on down to her lower back position. The next element is about finding your neutral spine. The way we find that neutral spine is by adjusting her pelvis and her lower back position. So Lily, what I'm going to get you to think about is that your pelvis is a bowl of water. You're going to tilt your pelvis so that that water is going to dribble out of the bowl towards your belly button. By doing that, she's tucking her tailbone right at the end of the spine underneath. Like if she had a tail, it would be tucking between her thighs. And she's now feeling that her lower back is really flat. Can you feel that? So her lower spine is really flat to the bed and she's gotten a nice little soft drawing in here to do that position. From there, Lily, I want you to relax out of that position and then tilt that water from the bowl down towards your legs. Beautiful. From here, we've now got a nice arch through her lower back and I can get my hand in underneath. Really good. Let's do that same movement forwards and backwards a few times. She's tucking her tailbone under and then she's tilting her tailbone the opposite direction, getting that nice arch. This time, Lily, I want you to stop about halfway. So not completely flat with her lower back, but certainly not completely arched. Halfway, and in this position, you should feel like you could have a couple of grapes underneath your back. You wouldn't squash them, but you definitely wouldn't let them roll away. Happy with that? Great. We're going to move on to the next element, getting your transverse abdominis and your core switched on. So Lily already started getting some of those muscles switched on when she was doing her pelvic tilting. Let's go into that a little bit deeper. I'll get you to use this hand on your hip bone and I'm going to start here on the other side. Bring your fingers just a few centimeters in from your hip bone onto that lower part of your tummy. Let's go back to your pelvic tilting. This time as you do it, I want you to think about drawing those muscles underneath your fingers gently in, activating those muscles underneath them. Good. Let's tuck your tailbone under and as you do that, think of squeezing that muscle gently on and then relax as you tilt back to your neutral spine. Beautiful. Let's try that again. Gently drawing through the lower tummy muscles, tilting your pubic bone toward your belly button, decreasing that distance, and then release and relax back. I also want you to think about getting your pelvic floor activated during this. So it's that gentle draw in and lifting up through those core muscles. Beautiful. And relax. what you should be able to feel is a gentle tightening underneath your fingers, and that's a good sign that you're activating those right muscles. It should be really subtle, but you should definitely be able to feel it switching on. All right, we're on to our last element, our breathing. In Pilates, we use something called lateral breathing, which means we want to expand the rib cage and the lungs outwards. So a great way to practice is by placing your own hands on your rib cage. Perfect. And then I want you to take a nice deep breath in, and as you do, I want you to visualize filling up the outsides of your lungs, expanding your fingers apart from each other. And then as you exhale, your fingers will gently slide back together. Great, you're doing a good job there. Take another nice deep breath in, thinking of those fingers sliding outwards. And then with that exhale, they'll gently slide back in together. Beautiful. So we'll keep going there with a few more breaths, Lily, and it's really important that as we start to progress with our Pilates, we're able to integrate our breathing with each of our exercises. Wonderful, you've done well.